one of a kind, the last of his breed, the world's finest. Waterboy.
Now that's what I call high-quality H2O.
Bobby Boucher was a lonely boy.
Smelled like you could use a shower, Stinky.
Everybody else got friends, Mama. I just want some too.
You don't have what they call the social skill.
My name is Bobby Boucher.
That's why you never have any friends, except for your mama.
Constantly tormented by everyone. Until one day...
Somebody hurt you, my boy?
You gotta defend yourself here, Bobby, or they're gonna ride you for the whole season.
They pushed him too far.
Stop making fun of me.
Oh, dang. He's killed, though.
Now...
Play football for this team.
My mama ain't gonna let me play no football.
they're going to trade him.
Is there any sport that you do watch?
Wrestling.
I want you to do to Casey what Captain Insano does to the bad guy.
And turn him loose.
Visualize all those people that have been mean to you, and then I want you to attack.
What's the matter with you, boy? You too stupid? No.
No what?
Now everyone will feel his pain.
The amazing 31-year-old freshman set a new NCAA record by sacking the quarterback 16 times.
And you are so sexy.
The Waterboy's influence now reaches far beyond college football.
From Touchstone Pictures and the director of The Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler.
There's something wrong with his medulla oblongata.
You playing the foosball behind my back?
The Waterboy.
Visualize an attack.
How you doing, boy? No.
Welcome back to another episode of the Movie Bar Podcast, the movie podcast for movie fans by movie fans. The bar is now open, and today we are heading to Jackson Bayou, Louisiana. Welcome to episode number 83. I am your host, John, and I am here with
I'm Justin.
I was going to give you a good introduction.
I don't need it. You didn't put it in here, so I was just going to go with
I was going to surprise you.
I don't like surprises.
I know you don't, especially when they come from me.
Yeah,
How you doing this week, Justin?
all right.
Yeah, happy belated Veterans Day to all those veterans out there. We forgot to say it at the end of the show last week, but in big news, I was sober the entire day in a bar room. But
Boring as fuck.
yeah, it kind of was. I was like, this is so much more fun when I'm shit-faced, and I really don't remember much of it, but...
Well, because it's not actually fun. You're just drunk, so it seems fun.
Yeah, and it usually is fun, but I will say, nothing makes a Veterans Post quiet on Veterans Day with about 60 veterans in the room till somebody plays F the Police by the NWA. We don't know who played it, but that did not go over very well.
Why is it playable then?
It's on a jukebox.
Why is it there then?
I don't know.
So we don't get profiled.
Yeah. So, I'm sure they're investigating who played it. Oh. All right. Big news story. The SAG-AFTRA actors strike officially ended November 9th at 12:01 a.m. So now it's going to be a mad dash for all the movies to start filming again.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Deadpool 3 and Venom and a few other ones were going right into production once it ended. So,
Yes.
couple new trailers dropped this week, Justin. You want to take the first one?
Yeah, we have Family Switch, which looks like a fun little twist on the old body swap family fun movies of old.
Yeah.
such as Vice Versa. Didn't think I was going to go there first, did you?
No, no.
No, didn't think I was going to go there.
I was getting
Mostly 'cause-
those Freaky Friday vibes.
Yeah, yeah. But it looks interesting.
Yeah, I believe it was Ed Helms and
Yeah,
Jennifer
Ed Helms
Garner.
and Jennifer Garner. I couldn't think of her name. That's why I didn't say it.
I was trying to think whether it was her or Michelle Monaghan, but Michelle Monaghan was in the other one with the Mark Wahlberg movie we discussed last week. But yeah, interesting twist. Father switches with son, mother switches with daughter.
Don't reveal it. Don't reveal the other one. Let them find out on their own.
Yeah. Definitely looks funny. But that was a Apple TV.
I think Apple TV was
The Mark Wahlberg one. So this is either Netflix.
I think this was Netflix.
Okay. So
I suppose I could find out.
Yeah. It's not like we don't have these devices near us.
No, like I didn't. Yeah, it's Netflix.
Yeah. When's it come out? Does it say?
No, I didn't. I don't remember that, and it doesn't say it on the little picture. So I believe it's soon.
And then the other trailer that dropped is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. What'd you think of this trailer?
Looks interesting. Apparently, this one's going to take a lot from like the cartoons.
And they're all back except for Harold Ramis, but Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, and Dan Aykroyd, as well as Paul Rudd and the kids from Ghostbusters Afterlife. So,
and Kunal Nanjiani is there too.
Yeah. So that comes out March 29th, 2024. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looks like it should be good.
But what I'm most excited for is coming this Thursday. Thanksgiving.
Oh, I thought that was next week.
No, it comes out this Friday.
That was a joke, you dummy.
Oh. Well, I'm excited for that too, but I already got my tickets, so
I don't know what we're doing, so
I don't either. I tried to have this conversation Saturday, but that went right out the fucking window. Like trying to explain to Hunter about the, arithmetic. But so yeah. So what you watched this week, Justin?
More than one movie.
Oh, that's a plus.
So I did watch The Waterboy.
Waterboy.
I also, and I forgot how good this movie was. I also watched Mars Attacks.
Ooh.
I forgot how much I love this movie. What a cast. Jack Nicholson playing two roles, and he does great on both of them. I mean, it was just Tim Burton did such wonderful work.
I miss him as an actor, Jack Nicholson. But
yeah,
that actually made a big comeback this year with Spirit Halloween.
Yeah,
they had the animatronics and.
It's 1996, so a couple of years it'll be coming up on anniversary, but
yeah.
So love that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. Is that it? That's all you watched?
Yeah, there's more than one. It was two.
So I watched, kind of sticking with my Veterans Day theme as I do every year. I watch a couple Army or military related movies. So I did watch Jarhead with Jake Gyllenhaal. I love the scene when he's cleaning out the shitters and the colonel walks up. He's like, "Go ahead, put that one back in there, soldier or Marine. You're not going to rob me of my morning glory." I also watched Idiocracy. Have you seen that?
No.
With Luke Wilson.
Mm-hmm. I know who's in it. I know about it. I just have never.
That's a movie I think you would like. I think you would really like that movie.
No, I know. It's a God, the hell is his name? King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead. Mike Judge.
Mike Judge, yes.
Yeah. That's where Crocs were first introduced into the world. The
Yes.
mainstream way. Because they were supposed to be something so stupid nobody would ever buy them.
Yeah.
That's why they picked it.
But you know what? That movie came out in 2006, and it's kind of predicting the future because every year these kids get fucking dumber and dumber.
And it's not just the kids.
Yeah. I was trying to be nice. After that, I watched the Robin Williams classic, Good Morning Vietnam.
You calling a pig? That sounded
Yeah.
more like a suey call than the Good Morning Vietnam yell.
So I was watching this, and I had an issue with it. You've seen this, obviously, right?
Maybe a long, long time ago. In a galaxy far, far away.
So there is a scene where they show 3 little boys playing under a water sprocket or whatever.
Spigot.
Fucking completely naked.
Uh-huh.
How the like? I know it was a different time back in.
It was in Vietnam, though, right?
Yes, back
That
in
was
1987.
Yeah, that was well. It was also supposed to be during the Vietnam War, so that's
Yes,
how they lived. So yeah, that's
but
you
they
want to
didn't
put
need to show the
accuracy in.
full
Yeah, that's how
peas
it
and
is.
carrots.
No, nowadays they
So,
wouldn't, but
yeah, I'm surprised they haven't canceled that yet. But anyways, I also watched The Waterboy twice, and I watched a new movie that came out on Shudder, Night of the Hunted, which was the guy that directed P2.
I did watch something else. Didn't leave much of an impact on me.
Yeah, but it's a movie that takes place in a single location, a gas station. This girl goes in, and there's a sniper out on the billboard, and he's killed his wife, and anybody that comes remotely close to the gas station, he shoots at. It's a fucking twisted movie,
Yeah.
but it was really good. So, what was the other movie you watched, Justin?
That new Netflix one, The Killer. Michael Fassbender.
Oh, how was it?
It was all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. Some good fight scenes. Some decent kills, but
Nice. All right. Now, should we go to our main topic?
I suppose.
This week we will be covering The Waterboy, which was originally released on November 6th, 1998. It was directed by Frank Karachi. It has a box office of 190 million US dollars, which I believe they said was Adam Sandler's 10th highest ranking movie out of all his movies. But it is one of the most popular sports movies out there.
Mm-hmm.
It was distributed by Touchstones Pictures, Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, music by Alan Pasqua, produced by Jack Giarapato and Robert Simones, was rated PG-13, has a runtime of 1 hour and 30 minutes, and is currently streaming on Hulu as well as for purchases on all streaming sites.
Cast of characters. We have Adam Sandler as Bobby Boucher, Kathy Bates as Helen Mama Boucher, Henry Winkler as Coach Klein, Firuza Balk as Vicky Valancourt, Jerry Reed as Coach Red Bolu. That's a name that messes me up.
Yeah.
Peter Dante as G. Granule, Larry Gilliard Jr. as Derek Wallace, Blake Clark as Farmer Fran, Jonathan Lawson as Lyle Robidoux, Clint Howard as Paco, Alan Covert as Walter, Rob Schneider as the Townie, Kevin Farley as Jim Simmons, Robert Kokel as the Professor, Frank Karachi as Roberto Boucher Sr., Paul White as Captain Insano, Soon Hee Newbold as Mud Dog Cheerleader, Dan Fouts as the ABC announcer, Brent Musburger as himself as the ABC announcer, Lynn Swan as himself as the ABC sideline reporter, Chris Fowler as himself for ESPN, Lee Corso as himself for ESPN, Trevor Miller as himself, Moosey the Cocker Spaniel as herself, Dan Patrick as himself for ESPN Sports Center, Lawrence Taylor as Lawrence Taylor himself, Bill Cower as himself, Jimmy Johnson as himself, and Jennifer Binney Taylor as Rita. Quite the cast.
Quite the cast. So, one thing I found interesting was the All Elite Wrestling now Paul White owns the Captain Insano character now. And there was talks of making an action figure of that.
Well, he owns a trademark for it, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So, they were going to make an action figure. I don't know what happened. But
he's looking rough. He looks like Kevin Nash. He needs some help.
Oh, I think he's in shape now.
No, his right leg is like all messed up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Apparently, he's wrestling on Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah.
In an 8-man tag or something. But
yeah, I just see memes all over the place of the way he's standing. He needs surgery or something. His right leg is jacked up like Kevin Nash's was.
Yeah. But I mean, I think it'd be cool if they came out with the action figure.
Mm-hmm.
You know, nice little piece of movie history there. As long as it has the long hair and not the bald head like he has now. Yeah. But all right, you want to lead this week's breakdown?
Do I have to?
Yep.
I mean, I don't know.
I'll do it. Whatever.
Yeah, you shouldn't have. You don't jump that shit on me. I wasn't thinking like that.
Okay. All right. So
I'm not prepared for something like that without a little bit of forewarning. I watched this movie 3 days ago.
Okay. Well, I'm sure you've seen it 1,000 times.
I have.
I actually have it on right now, and so we're down in Jackson Bayou, Louisiana. Redneck Central, if you ask me.
Well, it has to be. It's Louisiana.
And we meet the Waterboy for the LSU not the Mud Dogs.
Not the Mud Dogs.
I forget what they're called, and they're playing them right now on the movie, but I can't see what the name is.
Name that team?
The River Cats? No.
No, I don't remember. Well,
anyways, so we get our first look at the Bobby Boucher. Talks with a very thick Bayou accent, a Louisiana accent, and definitely afraid of his mother.
Yeah, I think I would say that Bobby's accent is more Adam Sandler than Louisiana or
a lot of his movies he used the same accent, the big Billy Madison.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a few others, but
a lot of the newer ones, yeah.
There was actually a video that was just posted of him. I don't know where he was, but there was a statue of Fonzie. And he goes up and he's like, Coach Klein, say something. Come on, Coach Klein. Mama, Coach Klein's not talking. But, he takes his job very seriously, And he's very disliked by the team, and especially the head coach. So you kind of see how he's treated, and when he goes home to Mama, and I lost my job at the Waterboy, the water for purification, and like when he's on the phone with Captain Insano. And he's like, how old are you? 7, 8, 10? 31, sir. And they start laughing.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it is, awfully sophomorish, so a lot of people
yes.
don't like it, but I don't care. It's still funny.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of moments throughout this movie where I found myself laughing, like when he's in the
No, I
classroom.
shouldn't, but I am.
Yeah. Like when he's in the classroom and
My mama says alligators so on it because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush to brush them with. Your mama's wrong.
Yeah. But that's when you kind of see his anger side. I mean, just watching the movie, the whole cast of characters are funny in their own unique way. Like Henry Winkler's character, is
scared of his own damn shadow.
Yeah, very timid and
beaten down.
Like
broken.
when they show the scene when the other coach takes his little green notebook. And the next scene, he's on the phone talking to his grandmother on a phone that's not connected, wearing high heels. I hate him. 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 Like, and just Farmer Fran alone. Yeah. And all the usual cast of characters from Adam Sandler movies, Alan Covert and Rob Schneider.
You can do it.
Peter Dante. What character do you most relate to in this movie?
Relate to?
Yeah.
I don't know. None of them?
Good answer. I was going to say.
I mean,
who's your favorite character throughout?
They're all pretty dumb.
And that's nothing against Louisiana.
No, it's just the characters in the movie. All the characters in the movie are pretty dumb. I don't know. That's kind of tough. Because, I mean, Farmer Fran's just hilarious.
Yeah.
For his, few scenes that he has. And, I mean, Coach Klein, when he's sitting on the football trying to, keep it warm like it's an egg. When he's walking around talking to it, giving it a scolding. Why won't you just work with us?
Oh, when he's watching the tape of the game. And here's where they intercepted the ball. And here's where he dropped it, picked it up, dusted off before the defense even finds out what's going on. And Mama. So Kathy Bates was persuaded to take this role by her niece, who was a huge Adam Sandler fan at the time. And I don't really think there's anybody else that could have played Mama.
I mean, I'm sure they could have changed her a little bit, but she does do a great job. She really, really did.
Yeah.
And she probably would have kicked herself had she not done it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's iconic. It's an iconic role now,
Yeah. Mama says girls are the devil.
Don't you be playing with those girls, Bumpy. The girls are the devil.
Let's talk about the barbecue. So that looks like alligator that they're eating. Or little baby gators.
Little baby gators on a stick. Yeah.
And then when they have Coach Klein over,
big old snake.
Yeah. So what's the best
part do you think I'm eating? Snakes don't really have parts, but I would say the knee.
Yeah. Oh, and what's for dessert? And then the little flycatcher Squirrel. So overall, your opinion of this movie, The Waterboy?
I mean, this is a classic. This is, if it's on, I'm watching it.
Yes.
I mean, it came out, 1998, right? 8th grade, 9th grade, right there. Perfect timing for this movie to hit for us. So this is a childhood favorite.
Mm-hmm. That whole little stretch of movies that he had, Happy Gilmore,
Billy Madison,
and Billy Madison, and this, those were constant staples.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I mean, even Big Daddy. I mean, it took it a little while. It
Yeah.
was a little bit more sentimental, a little less silly, but still pretty over the top in its silliness. But
Do you cry if you watch that movie now?
I don't know if I've watched it in a while, but probably.
Yeah. That one scene when he's like, I can wipe my own ass, and he's being taken away. So, but, and Adam Sandler made a career off of being a buffoon. From his CDs to Saturday Night Live and to Going Overboard. Pretty much any movie he's been in. Thankfully, he's kind of gotten rid of the voices and the...
Yeah, at least they'll show up.
Yeah, but not like a constant as it was in this movie.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do that, that one about the basketball players as a agent walking in going, now remember, you gotta shoot the ball, shoot it, shoot.
Yeah, or Uncut Gems when he's, trying to hustle people. What kept you in bed? Like we've talked about how, this came out when we were 8th, 9th grade, sophomore humor. What kept you invested in this movie?
What kept me watching it, or why do I keep going back?
Why do you keep going back and watch it? Is it like the nostalgia, or is it just that it's a funny fucking movie?
So many lines, so many good lines, and every time you watch it, you hear a different portion of it, in a different way that you catch it out of your ear. You're like, I don't remember that,
Yeah,
and it's just because it's even when I'm watching, it's still kind of half in the background, so it's. But it's just so much to it. Every time you just see a little bit more, like you pay a little bit more attention to the the cheerleaders every time they're on, and see all this stupid crap that they kind of had snuck in there with all the cheerleaders always being drunk and all that. So when you go through the crowds and all that stuff. So
yeah. I know one scene in particular that I love to refer back to is when the director shows up as Bobby's father, Roberto Boucher.
I'm your daddy, Roberto.
And then Mama just, you learn that's where Bobby gets his intensity from on the football field is from Mama when she fucking sacks him. How about driving the lawnmower? I wouldn't expect anything else from Bobby Boucher.
Yeah. I mean, it's poor. You're a water boy. Yeah. Surprised he can put gas in the lawnmower.
And Ricky, so let's talk a little character development of, we'll start with Bobby Boucher. He is hiding the fact that he's playing football from his mama. And whenever he comes home with a new bruise or a cut, that one scene where he's like,
the gorilla escaped from the zoo and clocked him in the eye.
And then Mama's hanging
wanted posters.
Yeah. But even though he's afraid of her, whenever somebody would badmouth her, he'd get mad.
He's a mama boy.
Like the teacher, the Colonel Sanders lookalike.
You're wrong, Colonel Sanders.
Something wrong with your medulla oblongata. And he fucking sacks him, and like every time you see him, he's got a different injury. And Hey, Professor, we still having that test on Friday? If that's okay with you, Bobby, and my mama. But then you start to see it like when he's getting ready to play and number 62, or the quarterback there, turns into mama. Yeah, football is for the devil, football is the devil, and fucking sacks him. He's like, I'm sorry, mama. I love you. I love you.
162. I'm gonna be on your mama tonight.
Yeah.
62.
62.
Intercepts the ball, throws it to him, and then drop kicks him in the end zone.
Yeah, and somebody that's around football all the time as a Waterboy, you think he would have picked something up, but he's not that smart.
Think,
but he does choose to he does choose to go to school. And then we find out that
college education.
Yes. Coach Klein has forged documents of a high school diploma. But as long as he takes the test and Vicky's there to help out if needed. You want me to kill him? Like, all that scene where she's like, I'm kind of thinking of stealing LT's car.
Yeah.
And then, well, why don't we ride home together? And it shows them driving down the road, her in the Corvette and him on the fucking lawnmower. Let's talk about that scene for a second. So he's at
Porsche.
Yeah, he's at LT's like fantasy football camp, and he's explaining to the kids how to play football, and LT just ends it with, "Don't do drugs." And all the kids are
Stay
like,
off crack.
Yeah. So, it's little jokes like that I think really make this movie. So the relationship between Mama and Vicky, the two women of his life, they don't like each other.
Well, they're both very strong women.
Yeah, and Mama's afraid of losing her baby boy. And she tells Bobby the girl's the devil. And
but I like Vicky Valancourt, and she showed me her boobies.
Yeah, and I like boobies.
And I like them too.
But you see towards the end that there's a lot of people that care about Bobby. The town depends on him with the college and to play in the championship game. But he can't because Mom is sick, even though we all see it. I love how he turns the hospital room into the fucking house.
Yeah.
With the donkey and
Gotta have Steve in there.
Yeah. So yeah. What's your favorite scene in the movie?
I think it has to be the end when Bobby looks and he gives that wink, and then he throws the ball, and there's Farmer Fran.
I should have guessed that would have been your favorite.
That's just so funny.
So let's talk about Blake Clark for a minute. A lot of movies with Adam Sandler. 50 First Dates. I believe he was the guy with the breasts on his head in Little Nicky. Oh, was that somebody else?
No, that was him. And then he was also Sean's father on Boy Meets World.
Yes, probably one of his most notable roles. Trying to think if there was any other. Was he in
He's been
Happy?
a lot of stuff. He's been in a ton of stuff.
He also would later reprise Farmer Fran in the movie Joe Dirt. Much like Rob Schneider would play the townie in Little Nicky, And Adam Sandler played the same character as Rob Schneider, and Rob Schneider's the animal.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it. So it's kind of like it's his own little cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Do you think there was a potential for a sequel with this movie?
I don't know. I don't feel like most of his movies really could. I mean, I would say the only one that you could really put one on is Happy Gilmore. I mean, I don't see how you could do one for like Billy Madison or even this. This one, I think it'd be hard unless he makes it to the NFL.
I think that would have been the next logical step, but he does say, the father at the end of the movie does, why don't you take the NFL deal and we could be like Tiger Woods and his daddy.
Yeah.
And
take the money, stupid.
Yeah. I could see like maybe 2 or 3 years down the road, he's playing for the NFL and he's got Coach Klein with him and Vicky but
I don't know.
I just found it odd that like such a high grossing movie didn't get some type of sequel.
He went on and made a different one.
Yeah. He did make a lot of movies.
See, I think that's one area he's done better than most others is he knows when to make a sequel and when to just make a different movie. Because he doesn't make a lot of sequels. Grown Ups and Grown Ups 2.
I think, yeah. Honestly, I was just trying to think. I think that's it.
So I mean, he's kind of a one and done kind of guy, and I think we need more of those people. So half the time they put too many goddamn sequels out.
Yeah,
and that just takes away from the original.
Yeah, very true. I was kind of thinking about that the other day, like movies that went on.
Wound up in the hood and in space, and he's just.
And he went back to the hood too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's
and then
certain
they become, jokes.
But then towards the end of that series, they went back to being serious, but it wasn't the same Leprechaun that we knew and loved.
Yeah.
So how about the setting of the movie, Louisiana?
You couldn't really do that anywhere else. Well, I should say you could do that in any of those states down there, but it fits in well with Louisiana and football and.
Yeah, and down south they do take their football very serious.
Yes,
their college and high school
too
football.
Seriously.
Yeah. So do you think if this movie had never came out and they made this movie today, do you think it would be well received? The way the culture is now.
I think it would be different.
Do you think it would be different or it wouldn't be different?
I think it would be different. The movie would be different.
How so?
I think half the jokes in it wouldn't be in it anymore. They'd have to be changed.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely agree there. Yeah, you don't know what would set somebody off. But
I mean, we say that, and they're still making movies, and they're still putting out silly, stupid, raunchy college movies. So, I don't know.
But I think this movie was perfect for the time that it came out.
I would say that I think the biggest problem with this movie these days would be the fact that they make him out to be, I don't want to say that word, but they they play him off to be a terrible, offensive stereotype.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that's where the biggest problem with this movie would come in these days. I think if it
agree.
was made now, it probably wouldn't be in Louisiana. It'd probably be in like Minnesota or something like that.
Yeah, and he wouldn't have the accent. He wouldn't be.
Yeah.
He would just be like a water boy that had
Yeah.
never played football and
Yeah.
not the character that he grows, becomes throughout the movie. So him and Vicky do get married with Mama's blessing. You can do her all night long. The whole town comes out, of course. How about the music? I think it had some pretty good music there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The acting, unbelievable.
Yep. No, they did great right across the board.
I think one scene it just popped into my head. One scene that might be an issue is when, he's telling defense go over there, offense over there. Special teams go run with Farmer Fran. It's the black dude. He's like, oh man.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that probably would have been bad.
And Bobby Boucher has that unique sense of style. Yeah, it's my daddy's suit. But let's talk about the big game, the championship game. So the coach of the other team, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name because I know I'll fuck it up. He's using Coach Klein's playbook,
Mm-hmm.
which is part of the reason why Coach Klein is the way he is. And he's taking a knee so Bobby doesn't play. Keep down.
Well, it's the final game of the year, Jet. You got to pull out all the stops.
Yeah. So Bobby has a heart-to-heart with Coach Klein and tells him, are you afraid of Coach over there? Yeah. Well, what's up? And then he looks over and he's a baby. He's got the baby's head. And then he's a puppy, and he's coming up with all these plays, and and comes down to that final play where Bobby's now the quarterback and gets sacked.
It's just a trick play.
Yeah. And throws the ball to the actual quarterback. I believe it was a quarterback.
Yep.
Do you think it would have been a different movie if he missed it?
Yeah. It's still. They would have come up with something funny, I'm sure.
And after Bobby gets sacked, well, first he rides into the game at halftime with the fan boat.
Mama and Vicky Valancourt.
Yeah. Hey, remember that time Bobby did this?
Remember that time Bobby showed up at halftime and then whooped it?
Yeah.
Then Lynn Swan. What makes you think that they're gonna get in 30-27? That's not a prediction. It's gonna be 30-27.
And then the scene when he's off to the side and she's like over there watching him.
She's just like, uh-huh.
And Bobby gets rejuvenated with his what do you say that water was from?
The glacier.
Glacier, yeah. Still cold.
Still cold. That's high quality H2O.
Yeah. Even while he's playing, he's still the water boy for the team.
Yep.
When we first meet Coach Klein and Bobby meets him, he sees the water and it's brown and fucking.
Please don't let anybody consume that.
Yeah. But not really many effects. Cinematography is good. A lot of good shots. Bobby. This was his first time playing in a football movie. His second time, The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
Where he does play the quarterback. That's a good movie too.
Mm-hmm.
What are your top 3 Adam Sandler movies?
Gilmore Madison and Waterboy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say my top 3 are Uncut Gems,
I haven't seen it.
Grown Ups, and the Big Daddy. Then Madison, Gilmore, and Waterboy. And did you ever see the cartoon when he did?
8 Crazy Nights?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now he's got another animation movie coming out to Netflix where he plays a lizard. Looks kind of funny. All right. Big question of the night. Do you recommend The Waterboy?
Absolutely.
Same
It's
here.
a must-watch.
Yes, definitely. If you have not seen it, you need to stop
Water
listening.
sucks. It really, really,
It really
sucks.
sucks. Gatorade.
Gatorade.
All right. How many mugs do you give The Waterboy?
4.75.
0.75. I give it 4.5.
It's a wonderful movie.
Yeah.
But IMDb gives it a 6.1 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes 33%. And Letterboxd 2.8 out of 5.
I don't know how it's such a low scores.
There's always people. It's too sophomoric for a lot of the people who think that they're above that.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people our age like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
Next week, though, depending on which type of person you are, it might not get better for you because we're covering 2009's Paul Blart Mall Cop with Kevin James, Jayma Mays, and Keir O'Donnell. It's about in the same vein, so if you don't like
Yeah.
that kind of movie, not going to get much better for you next week.
So the reason we're covering it because it takes place on Black Friday, and that episode will drop on Black Friday. And there is a little bit of history or a connection between us and that movie. Not only were we
Not as good as our Here Comes
Here
the
Comes the
Boom
Boom,
connection, but
that was filmed in Massachusetts. It was filmed
in a place we frequented a lot that I
Yes.
chose to avoid multiple members of my family.
Yes. A quick little sidebar story about that. I was home on leave while they were filming that movie.
Mhm.
And it was like in May.
Yeah, it was the summer. I remember that.
And I'm walking around the South Shore Plaza in Braintree, Mass. And I'm looking around, what the fuck are there Christmas decorations?
And it was like uber Christmas decorations because they never did that mall up like that.
Yeah. And I believe they filmed part of it there and then part of it at the Burlington Mall.
Oh,
it was Burlington. And which is funny because that's where we went to the casting call for Here Comes the Boom. Small world. But I was just like walking around going, what the? Are they that fucking lazy? They're not taking down all the Christmas decorations? And then there was a sign that said, please excuse our appearance.
Yeah.
The filming of a Happy Madison movie. So yeah, next week, Paul Blart Mall Cop. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Because the next episode will drop after Thanksgiving. So hope you all have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Eat plenty of turkey. Go see Thanksgiving in theaters. But the bar is now closed. Thank you, motherfucker. You did it again. Thank you so much for listening. You can follow and stay up to date with the podcast at the Movie Bar Pod on X,
Twitter,
at the Movie Bar Podcast on Instagram, and at the Movie Bar Pod on YouTube and TikTok. And at the Movie Bar Pod on Facebook.
I also got rid of the L that you had at the end of TikTok. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and most places you listen to your podcast. Be sure to check out our website, www.moviebarpod.com.
Thank you for listening. Please let us know what you want to hear by contacting us on social media or via email at themoviebar@outlook.com. Please be sure to like and review and subscribe to the podcasts and drink some water for Bobby Boucher's sake. High quality H2O. Bye.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.